Welcome to episode 118 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. My name is Ted Stovin. He is Wacey Anderson, and we are in the backyard. It is the first backyard podcast of the season. Summer.
The lilacs are bloomed.
Actually, just spring. And the apple trees bloomed,
Apple
man.
trees blooming.
How nice is the backyard? How nice is that?
Are you
How
gonna
neat is that?
Is that new concrete?
No, it's Dorm painted it, though.
Oh.
Did you notice it, or just now?
Just Ted's pointing it out.
Oh.
One thing folks may not know. One thing folks may not know about the backyard setup is Ted and I built this platform that we're sitting on. This very platform that we're sitting on with our bare hands.
Yeah, we worked really hard.
And we're not manual labor folk.
No. But it was Storm's idea. But we executed it.
It was good. These bricks are heavy as shit.
They were actually heavy enough that my silver truck was like, I think I had to make 2 trips because it was pretty heavy.
That was back in the day when I lived in the basement, in the dungeon.
It was
a full beat laboratory downstairs.
It was a full load of. It was a pallet of these bricks.
Oh man,
they were heavy, but they look good. It's a nice little patio.
It's holding together strong. It's been a few years now.
And like one good thing is there's a very small amount of stuff that grows through it. I don't know if we did really good job of that or if it's just
I think we just did I just think we just did a hell of a job.
If the stuff is so tight that it's close like that, I don't know. But
yeah, it's cool stuff.
Nice patio.
Nice patio.
Storm made a nice pond thing in a jug.
You can smell it. You can smell it.
It's very nice.
It smells fresh. Like it's really nice. Yeah, it smells good. No, it smells like nice, like a fresh ecosystem could live in there. Does get any frogs?
What kind of plant is that? What kind of flower is that? A canna lily? A can of lilies. Nice.
A can of lilies.
Nice.
We finally got some spring weather here in Calgary. Summer's on the way.
Finally.
Rodeo season's here.
Yeah, and you went to PA this last weekend for our friend Tanner Burns.
I've been on the road lots the last
Tanner and Scotty Burns. Jesse Burns.
Yeah, the Burn Ranch. It's my first time. It was my first time there telling Jesse and Tanner and the crew anyways. That's my first time up at the ranch since the bull riding school in like 2013. I got a horn in the throat.
Oh wow.
I haven't been up there in a while.
Dang.
Back in the old indoor arena.
What'd you feel
about? Do you want to get that sorted out before?
How'd you feel about things going back?
It was fine.
Did you have trauma?
No trauma. I remember it was 2013. And like Posy was there and everybody like Chad and the whole crew was there hanging out.
Was I there or no?
I don't think you were there. You weren't there that year. But it was Rat Trap at Calgary's.
Was Luke Snyder there?
Luke Snyder was there. Yeah.
Was he hammered drunk too?
This was like the first couple of days, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay. But it was only 2 days.
No, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember all the dirty details. But anyways, we go, and it was the second day. It was a Saturday, and Calgary had some bulls there, and they had a bunch of bulls.
Raymond Goodman.
Yeah, and it was like Rat Trap. They had Rat Trap and Edgar, and like all those really old bulls.
Edgar was sweet.
Yeah, so they had, but nobody wanted because Rat Trap was a piece of shit, but nobody wanted to get on him.
I got on that bull one time.
And they were
brand new bull rope, and it was awful.
And he was sitting in the chute, and I was having a rough weekend. Like I got the first bull I got on was a young calf at Calgary, and he fucking body slammed me on.
What did you learn at that school?
I'm gonna get to it, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to it. If you let me get there,
body slammed.
I'm heading into that direction. So we were going, and it was like a lunch break, and they had like Edgar and a bunch of those older bulls loaded up, and Ty got on Edgar, and I was having hell, and so Ty gave me one of his old ropes. So I'm using it. I get on, and Tristan Collier was like, "Yeah, man, get on that bull. It'll be good." And I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't know, and I go, and he kind of belly rolls out of there and jacks me like away from my hand, and his horn comes right in like my jugular, like right. Like I have a picture on my Instagram, like a bit. You can see the mark on my throat. Like it was bad. So took the rest of the day off. And then Sunday comes around, and they had these like a group of young bulls that were pretty nice. Like they just hop up there and spin pretty nice or whatever. So I got on one of those ones, and he hopped out 2 jumps around the right, and I rode him. And Luke comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, great ride. Like, if I was you, I'd shut her down for the weekend." I was like, you know what, man? I've been battling. It's probably a good idea just because I was getting my ass handed to me all weekend. But that's one of the last time I was at the Burn Ranch.
I like Luke.
So
Snyder, good people.
So it was fun, man. It was cool, and it was like a cool little setup Tanner has there in the yard.
So what'd you learn though? You didn't say what you learned.
I learned that. Yeah, I need to know where to draw the line sometimes. But Luke was a good teacher in a sense that he taught really similar to Gary LeFew.
Yeah.
So I'd went to a Gary LeFew school before, and he kind of taught some of that similar stuff. And then that last bull I got on, where it was away from my hand, that's when it all kind of clicked, like to really like get out of the front and setting your hips. So that felt really good. And that was early on in my left hand career as well. So
you started with your right hand too.
I started with my right hand back in the day, because then I dislocated my elbow and had to switch. But anyways, it was a good. it was good. It was good to feel like an actual like how would a bull right away from my hand felt like to do it the right way.
Correctly.
So, anyways, it was
That's
fun.
cool.
It was good times, yeah. And it was good. We had an impromptu football game on the Saturday of the.
Oh, you were in the football game
I was in
too?
the football game, yeah.
Kobe said he was injured after that. He was pretty tired.
There's a lot
out.
of sweaty dudes playing that football game. And a lot of people playing in jeans. It's crazy to me, man.
Jeans, eh?
I made a TikTok video about it. I'll plan to post it here later, but everybody does. Cowboys do everything in jeans. Like they'll see any sport. They'll like play beach
'cause we're
volleyball wearing
Cowboys.
fucking jeans.
Those are Cowboys. Do you like my jorts?
Jorts are cool, man. Jorts are great.
I was wearing my jorts one
I'm
day,
out
and
liking
Sean Morton
jorts,
came
man.
by, and he was like, I don't know if he was impressed or embarrassed or disappointed or what his deal was, but I don't know if he liked it
I
or
don't know,
not. I
man.
couldn't tell.
I
He's
just
like,
'cause-
Wacey's rubbing off on you. You're wearing jorts on a Saturday. It's
yeah, I
different.
don't know. Just because you don't need to wear jeans all the time to say you're a real cowboy. I don't know.
It's true.
There's no rules about it. But anyways,
true.
it was fun. It was really fun, man. Good to hang out with Tanner and the crew. They put on a good show. Good folks. Few rides. Got to work with Bob Schmidt. He's awesome.
Roberto,
He's a really good dude.
proud new owner of a Canadian Rodeo announcer card.
Man, he's a good one.
Good people.
He's a good one. So I'm glad that that's working out. And it was a good weekend, man. Got home at a decent time on Sunday, so can't complain.
That part's cool, eh? You only had to be gone for 3 days.
I didn't waste it. I left
Thursday,
on
Friday,
Thursday.
Saturday,
Yeah.
come home Sunday.
I was home Sunday.
3 nights. Meanwhile, I was gone for 6 nights. Left on Tuesday.
Left on the road, man.
And I was feeling pretty good when I left on Tuesday. And then I got, I don't know if I woke up and I felt like shit, but it was pretty early on, and I felt awful. I had
the road flu.
I felt like total dog shit.
Yeah.
And got up there, and then I got to Grand Prairie about 3 o'clock, and then I didn't really get a whole lot set up until about like 7.
Yeah.
And then we were setting up to like 11 p.m. Finally got everything set up by 11, and then had the slack the next day at noon, and then chuck wagons later that evening. So pretty jam-packed weekend.
But a good show, though.
In Grand Prairie,
Good
yeah.
content.
And really good content. Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to say the bareback riding, like I think 85 points hardly got a check, or like they were like
That
it was like
usually wins
6th or
most
7th
rodeos.
places. Yeah, 85. Yeah, Cole Goodine was like 90 on a horse called Debbie Does Dallas. Turns out turns out that Debbie Does Dallas is the name of a porno from like
porno
back
from
in
the 80s, man. Yeah. It used to come on. It was because it's kind of like, I think it's like softcore porno.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it wasn't like full on, so it always come on the late night like movie channels.
Oh, really?
It was Debbie Does Dallas. So
Somebody
when I saw that, it was funny.
Somebody said that someone is insisting that they change the name of that horse, though. And if it's just a softcore porn, then that's not that big of a deal. I don't think.
I don't
If
know.
it's like,
Yeah, leave the name. It's a sweet name.
it's funny.
Yeah, it's a heck of a name.
Debbie Does Dallas.
Only the old raisins are gonna know what it is anyways, 'cause it's from like 1977.
Yeah, like who cares? I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask the audience. What do you guys think about inappropriate
Dallas.
names of bulls?
bulls and
and
horses.
horses.
Bulls and horses.
Is it good,
but
bad,
that's not even inappropriate.
provocative?
Though. How is that inappropriate?
It's only inappropriate if you know what it is,
There you go.
right?
Boomsies.
And if you know what it is, you're probably old enough to know that it's okay.
That's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pardon? Debbie Does Dallas. It's the name of an old porno from the 80s, apparently. But it's softcore,
There you go. See,
right? So most people would just be like, "Phew," wouldn't get
it's
it.
one of those things, man. People,
People
just look
would
for
get it.
shit
They
to
would
complain
appreciate it. They'd be
about.
like, that's funny shit.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's a great name.
It's funny.
I don't know. People need to worry less about stuff like that. It's a waste of energy.
Worry more about the all-around.
Worry more about the all around.
Oh, what else?
But also, I was only home for one night when I got back.
What do you mean?
Because I got back from BC on Monday.
Hey, that sounds like a you problem.
I'm just saying, man. BC.
And you're going again, then coming back. Do you want to elaborate on why BC is awesome? Do you have anything to tell our listeners?
hot? You got any hot news?
Yeah, you got any hot news for us?
Oh, fuck. Yeah,
you,
yes. I got an old lady.
Will you still after she hears this?
Yeah, well, I don't know. She might
Does she like to be referred to as an old lady?
No. I don't think any lady likes to be referred to as an old lady.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's a very nice gal.
Yep.
Whom I have met, and we have engaged in a relationship together. It's very
You're already
nice.
engaged? Congrats.
Yeah, thanks, man. I got her Montana Silversmith ring.
Found it in my sample bag.
Yeah, that's what I've been digging
I
around
need
for
this.
the sample.
I
I
need
need
this.
this, man. I got something to do this weekend.
I'm going to hide it in your stuff next time you go.
That's gonna be your that's gonna be.
I'll
tough
hide
for
one.
you. Oh,
Just hide one.
dude.
Dear Jen from Wacey.
Will you marry me?
I'm going to find the cheapest one, too.
It's this shitty like turquoise like cross ring or something.
Just one that's old and discontinued and been
I'm just
been
getting
around.
like a custom cowboy shit ring.
Just cowboy shit diamond. Oh dear.
Fuck. But yeah, anyways, dating a gal from out there. She's good stuff. Her name's
Is she
Jen.
real? I haven't seen her yet.
You will be seeing her soon. She's out in a couple
Really?
weeks. Yeah, she's out on the
She was-
15th.
She was in town the same time I was in town, and she didn't come by. So I was a little bit like,
I had a lot of
Don't know
people
if
that
she's real.
like. I mean, love you guys to death, but my parents kind of take precedence on most folks. So I took
she's already
me
met the
with-
parents.
I
They're
took
getting
me for dinner
serious.
with my parents. Yeah,
So you actually went.
I'm not fucking around, man.
What did Paula think?
She hasn't said anything bad. So
No instant feedback?
No, Jen's great, so I'm not too worried.
And she's
never
an
too worried.
accountant.
She's an accountant. Yes, she's
She's
very
already
smart.
doing your taxes.
She said she would.
Oh,
So that's good news for me.
It is.
I did get QuickBooks though, so I'm trying to make life easy on her.
Well, that's for your company, though.
But I can still I can track personal stuff on there too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Wacey has his own company now. Wacey Anderson's social media extravaganza.
Waste dog marketing.
Wacey Anderson's social media shenanigans incorporated.
Social media emporium.
Import.
If we don't have it, you don't need it. Fucking.
What else? Okay.
Good stuff.
So,
Anyways,
in other news, you owe me a round of golf at the Banff Springs, the most expensive golf
do you want
course
to talk
play
about
in
on the back
Alberta.
half?
We can. Yeah.
Yeah, talk about. I think we're a ways in now. Or we're
Are
pretty
we ways
deep.
in? We're 11:20.
We do have something else to get to.
Hey,
Something new.
don't we?
We have a new sponsor on the pod.
Thank you.
We'd like to welcome our new friends, EquiLix,
and EquiPride,
and EquiPride.
and it's made by Sweet Pro.
It's made by
that are-
Sweet Pro.
Those that are that know the bull riding world know Sweet Pro, and they
So-
know that it's good shit.
That's good. That's all you need to know. That's
Yeah.
it.
That's the ad.
Get the ad. Done. Those who know Sweet Pro, they know EquiLix, and it's good shit. But anyways, we have something written up here. We've teamed up with EquiPride and EquiLix, which are an all-in-one vitamin and mineral and digestive aid supplements.
Wacey eats it every morning, so he
I
has
have
a good
I have
poo.
it every morning. I put it in my coffee. And let me tell you, my coat is shining. My skin has never been better.
Oh dear.
But anyways,
It looks a little dull to me, actually.
yeah.
You need some.
Go. You know what though?
Need some wax for that
Okay,
mustache.
what's cool about having a girlfriend?
Did you finish that read?
Okay. I'll get into the other part
Okay.
after. It's pretty. You'll enjoy this part of it. But yeah, EquiPride and EquiLix, they offer excellent hoof growth. Hoof growth is a battle, Adri. Hoof growth for your horse's coat and colic. What is? I can't even. Who wrote this?
Well, you're wearing your sunglasses, and it's like
They're prescriptions. They're
it's
prescriptions. I can
7:30
see
PM.
so good.
a little tinted.
Okay. What makes EquiPride and EquiLix so great?
What? I don't know, Wacey. What
They're
makes it so
excellent
great?
for hoof growth,
Oh.
your horse's coat, and colic issues. If that's not enough, with all the nutrition packed into these supplements, you will save about 20% on your forage needs, which is a big deal because hay is very expensive these days, so you don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff. So try this amazing horse supplement by asking your local feed store to bring in EquiPride and EquiLix today.
Do
By
it.
our friends at Sweet Pro Feeds. So
As Ricky
check 'em out.
Ticky would say,
do it.
yes.
Well, that was the first one out of the way.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back with our interview this week after this.
He got a split finger wrap and a rope pulled way too tight. He's got a lunatic smile cause he's really drawn deep tonight. He's got a fever. Yeah, grab a hold of anything and hold on tight. It hits you like the venom from a rattlesnake bite. We're all here cause he's not all there tonight.
Storm, are you ready?
Storm, are you ready now?
I'm ready now? Okay. All right, we're here with our next guest. He is a two-time Canadian all-around champion. He's a multi-time CFR, PBR Canadian Finals qualifier.
Two
He's
times,
been
right?
on. I said multi-time, man.
Yeah.
You don't have
That's
to be
cool.
exact, dude.
Eh.
Why do you have to interrupt me? He's been on Team
Just to
Canada
mess
for the
with
PBR
you.
Global Cup a couple times. He's a bull riding son of a gun. He's from BC. His name is Jake Gardner. Welcome to the Cowboy Shit Podcast, Jake. Thanks for coming out, bud.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's kind of been a long time coming. Ted and I were like brainstorming of who who we want to bring on the show next. And I was like, hey, man, like we got to get Jake on here. Like he hasn't been on any of this stuff, and he's been kicking ass the last couple of years. So we appreciate you taking some time throughout your busy schedule. You just got back from Alaska. Cool trip to the even greater White North, I guess, because further. I didn't know that Alaska is the biggest state in the
Is it
U.S.
really?
Yeah, that landmass
Bigger than Texas?
Bigger than Texas can fit into the Alaska 3 times.
No, really?
Yeah, seriously, man. I just watched a
wow.
video on it one day. It was
Really?
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's vast up there, especially when you're flying in that plane up there, and all you can see is mountains.
How do you
big mountains.
How do you get there?
Well,
How the
I
hell
guess
do you get there?
you could dog sled if you really wanted to, but no.
No, but what's the flight? Like, do you go to Edmonton to Seattle to Alaska?
Yeah, we
You
went.
got to go to the States first. You can't go from Edmonton or
No,
like,
I went.
Canada, right?
I went Edmonton to Vancouver and then up there, and it was
Vancouver.
It was a nice 3-hour flight up there, and yeah, it
That's
was
far.
It wasn't that bad.
It's as far from Vancouver to get to like L.A. as it is to get to Alaska.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I saw.
And the videos looked amazing. Like the
Yeah,
mountains
that
and the
was-
sun. It was like beautiful, and
Oh,
the sun
man.
probably didn't even go down hardly.
You want to talk about a sweet backdrop for a bull ride? Out in the
Holy, it
middle of
looked
Alaska.
amazing.
Oh man, that place is breathtaking. Like it's if anybody's wondering if they want to go or not, book the trip, and I swear you won't regret it.
Was that so? That was your first time competing? Because this is the second year they've had it. Did you go
Yeah.
the first year?
First year, I kind of had some issues with a bit of a broken hand. I had to take a month off, and that was right in that time period. I had my plane tickets booked, and I was entered, but I just didn't feel I was good enough to go up there, so I kind of took some time off, and I mean, it upset me, so I knew this year I wanted to go
Yeah.
for sure.
And there's a crew of you guys went up. It was you, Jared Parsonage, Jordan Hansen,
Lonnie West.
Lonnie West, and anybody
Tanner
else.
Grills was the shoot
Tanner
boss.
Grills. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That Tanner was shoot boss.
Todd was there too.
And then the Bull Rodeo Bulls made their way up too.
Yeah,
Jake
Jake
Wilson.
and the clan was there. I mean, the stock was great. I mean, there were a few bulls that were a little hit or miss, but I mean, you're going to have that anywhere. And I mean, I thought it was great. They did a great job, and I mean, it was a cool bull ride, and the fans there, they loved it. You rode one, they were cheering for 2 minutes
Yeah.
afterwards, so it was pretty cool.
So outside of the bull riding, what was your favorite thing about Alaska? Was it because obviously your first time up there?
Man, just being able to get up there and kind of see a different part of the world was pretty cool. I was fortunate enough I got to go fishing on the day after, and I've always wanted to go catch halibut, and I got to go catch one, so that was kind of cool. And the little town I was in, it's a fishing town called Whittier. You got to go through like a tunnel underneath of a mountain, and I thought that was really neat. And so I got a room there and kind of just played tourist for a couple days, and got my mind off the rodeo end of things, and it was nice.
Dang.
sweet.
Okay,
What were the-
how did you do with the bull riding? We didn't even get to that part. I didn't look at the results either.
I got fourth in a round. I was 84.5 on a good Vold Bull power play. Yeah, that got me fourth in a round, made a little money, and I think I finished eighth in the average. The bull I had the first day, he was really good, and I kind of messed him up. I wish I would have rode him, and I might have been able to come home with that gold, but unfortunately I didn't. And
That's a cool prize.
Yeah,
Like
so what's
some
the deal?
Bering
Isn't it
Sea
like-
gold,
How much? It was a shitload of gold, wasn't it?
$20K worth.
so from what I understand, I might be wrong, but the show Bering Sea Gold, I'm pretty sure that guy's the guy that puts it up. Anyways, he put 10,000 up last year and nobody won it, so I think it carried on over to this year. And Tyler Bingham, he went out and made some excellent bull rides, and he got to go home with it. It was pretty cool to watch.
So what did he get? Like a gold bar?
It was like just a bunch of gold flakes, like little gold nuggets.
Really?
I love like the unique like prizes for stuff. Like when Corpus Christi gave out the surfboards and stuff like that. Like there's-
WCRA,
or even
yeah.
like I guess even like when Chad gives out his guitars and all the different kind of like even when a guy can win a rifle sometimes in the U.S. Like there's some really cool. It's nice to kind of drift away from like just the traditional buckle. Like always sweet to win a buckle, but having different types of prizes is super cool too.
Oh yeah, like I mean that gold that's one I think everyone wants because it's worth a lot. So I wanted to win it, and I probably would have kept it in a safe for a few years, maybe to go up in value. But I just have to go next year and try and get it again.
So and the PR so you caught a halibut. Did you get it shipped home or come with you, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I caught a halibut and a bunch of rockfish. They had a fish processing place there, and they put it in a freezer box and put some ice packs in it, and I took it on the plane with me the next day. And
Really?
so when it's in the freezer at home, I'm pretty excited to try some of it.
Dang.
When we were in Florida, we didn't catch any fish that we could keep because it was
We
like
caught some
that.
fish. Nothing we
We
could
caught some
keep,
fish,
though.
but they have like that thing where it has to be a certain length to keep, but it
It's
has
a
to be
slot?
below a certain length. Yeah, it's a slot. Yeah,
something.
a slot.
Yeah,
So we didn't unfortunately get to try. Well, I'm not a big fish guy anyways, so it's good for me. But
yeah, for sure.
I would like to have some.
yeah,
So this year so far, though, you're sitting, you figure like about top 50 in the PRCA. So part of it's getting all the qualifications because you got to, be pretty high up to be able to keep going to those PRCA rodeos and get your preference and getting all the big events, But tell us about some of the goals and where things are at and where you're going.
Yeah, like last year, I kind of wanted, like I've always wanted to go on that PRCA trail, and last year I didn't feel like we were going to be able to make enough money up here to qualify for the big ones unless, you got into Calgary. So last year I kind of just went down there, focused a lot down there, and, it worked out. I finished in that top 40 range, which, got me into Houston and a bunch of those big ones. Unfortunately, I had a torn bicep, so I got off to a bit of a slow start this season. And Houston was my first one, and I'd been down in Texas for a couple months after that, picking away, getting a few one here and there, and but not really anything big. And then luckily I went to Reading and drew a good bull, and I managed to get the win there, and it kind of put me back into the standings where I need to be to keep going. And so like I'm just the end goal is to make the NFR. That's it's always been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. Like I want to make the PBR World Finals, but I just I see guys like Cody Snyder and Daryl Mills. Daryl's from kind of up where I'm at, and they're world champs, and it's just I always thought that was cool. Them guys made it, and they went down there, put on the miles, and traveled hard. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my career right now is kind of go that route. And yeah, so far it's been going okay. It's a bit of a slow start this season, but it's getting busy, and I'm feeling good. So,
and you're just coming off another win at the Grand Prairie Stampede. We were talking about it with Dakota Lewis the last episode about competing in like your hometown areas, and you're one of those guys who seems to always do well in your hometown, or like Dawson Creeks and Fort St. John's and Grand Prairie, that part of the world. Like you always seem to like come up big and get the job done. So do you kind of feed off the energy of being near your hometown or in that area because you know some people, or you just kind of because like for me, whenever I rode my hometown rodeo, I always fell off. I couldn't take the heat. So some guys can do it, and some guys can't.
We weren't as good as Jake, though.
No, but it's like, even for some guys who are good though, they can't get it done.
I don't know. I like the atmosphere up there. I guess it's kind of my home turf, so I
sunny and cold wintry in May and about 3 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the atmosphere.
No, I don't know. My first pro rodeo win was Grand Prairie. I think in 2018, I got on Vold's Crooked Nose. The year previous to that, I had the same bull drawn, and I rode Crooked Nose the second year, and I was 88, and I won that. And that rodeo kind of has given me the confidence to go to other big rodeos and succeed. And I just ever since then, I've been back up there, and I seem like I do good in Grand Prairie. There's a little bit of luck involved, I'm sure, but I feel good up there, feel at home, and I got a lot of people in my corner up there, and I'm just grateful that I can show them my skills, put it to work in front of them.
So that would have been your third win then, hey? Because you won it in 2019 on Sheep Creek. You were 90 points.
Yeah,
and then this year you're 89.5.
Yeah.
Damn, 3 in a row, pretty much.
3 in a row, man.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Hat trick.
The
Grand Prairie hat trick.
Actually 3, and then he's got the Grand Prairie buckle from the PBR from 19 as well.
Yeah, well, 2021 this last year.
You should almost run
Last
for
year,
mayor
okay.
of Grand Prairie.
Mayor, I don't know, maybe that
It's a lot of wins.
They like
be
that
a little too much for my plate. But no, I love it up there. I love Dawson Creek. I love Fort St. John. Fort St. John's where I'm from, and just those people up there. They're northern proud, and I'm northern proud. So when I'm able to get up there and show them a northern boy and win a rodeo like that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and let's go back to the beginning. We were kind of talking off camera or off recording here that you kind of got your start through Ty Posbon, another BC boy, and you mentioned Daryl Mills and guys like that who've had influences on you. So how did you get your start, and who kind of got you going, and how that leads you to where you are today?
Well, my dad, he's we're third generation.
Dad Ed.
Yeah, Edward. Yeah, Eddie, Fast Eddie. He
Gotta put his name in there.
Oh yeah, I got to put his name
Yeah,
in there.
gotta talk
No,
about
my
Ed.
dad is he. I owe a lot of my success to him. You know, he's been there through the highs and lows, and he's always whipped my ass to where it needed to be. You know, and so growing up, we're third generation ranching, farming kind of cowboy background family. Anyways, he used to ride broncs, steer wrestle, and bull ride, and so he got us kids into rodeo up there. We have a lot of I don't know, just kind of open rodeos, and he'd take us around all those, and you know, like anyone else, started riding sheep and doing that thing. And then my sisters got into high school rodeo. So I remember the old Fort St. John rodeo grounds, they quit having rodeos. They used to have pro rodeo, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, I remember he took us kids up there, and the arena was demolished. They had mud bogs and stuff there, and there was rocks and gravel. Anyways, he went through the time and work to get it nice, and got the barrel pattern set up, and got my sisters some breakaway cattle, and then I kind of just was always drug along, you know, to gymkhanas and stuff like that, and I remember I kind of wanted to start riding steers, so he got some big old team roping steers for me, and he ran them in the chutes, and I mean I was young and small and a little nervous, you know, but I remember.
What age were you?
Oh, I would have been about probably 10, maybe 8. You know, I'd been on calves and stuff, but, you know, nothing like that. Anyway, so he started me off one-handed. Well, I got on one and got one jump, you know, but more or less looking for the easy way out. And then I got another one, same thing. And the third one, same thing. And my dad, you know, he's a bit of a hard ass, but in a good way. You know, he's got a big heart. Anyways, I remember I got back behind them chutes, and he sat me down and he said, hey, if you don't ride this one or try, then I'm never going to, you're wasting time. Yeah. I'm done doing this. So he said, you better. And I remember I was young and, you know, and pretty upset about it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it, but I did. You know, I tied my hand back in that rope, and I sure tried hard, and I made it, I think, halfway across the arena. And I remember I hit the ground, and I felt like I did all right, and I got up, and there was a big smile on his face, you know, and that was just a good feeling for me. And I think ever since then, I was always attracted to it. And then kind of to keep going, he didn't just want me to do one event, you know, he wanted me to do other events, like, and I wanted to do it too. I like calf roping, shoot dogging, team roping. So I kind of got into that, and up there we had the Moore Ranch, which is Clayton Moore and his family, Annette Moore, Danny Moore, and they're kind of a big professional cowboy family up there. You know, Clayton's won a Canadian title, and Chelsea, she's really handy with barrel racing, and she was I think college national champ in the goat time back in the day. And anyway, so my sisters
won the Canada's Ultimate Cowgirl. She rode a cow.
Yeah. So she was really handy, and
real
so
handy.
my dad would send
She
the
broke her
girls
wrist.
down there, and they kind of, that's where they learned. And then when I got old enough, I started going down there, and Clayton kind of showed me the ropes of, you know, being a cowboy and the rodeo side of things. And so that's kind of where I learned my rodeo skills, and my dad taking us to practices and stuff like that. And then a few years, I went over to Williams Lake, BC a couple times to the Poffenroff Ranch, Virgil Poffenroff. He's a calf roper. I went and learned how to calf rope there from him and his dad. And then another summer, I went to the Pozzebon Ranch, which would be Luke and Leanne and you know, Ty Pozzebon's parents.
What age would you have been then?
I would have been about 12 then. So I was pretty young. I was just getting riding steers. Couldn't ride them that good. And my dad lined it up with Luke, I think, and said, hey, I want to send my boy down there for a few weeks. You know, you can use him as a grunt. He'll work for you. Just teach him how to ride type thing. And so my mom, she took me down to Williams Lake and met up with Ty and a group of bull riders. And anyways, you know, I don't think she realized what I was getting into, but
when you're 12.
yeah, they were like, yeah, Mrs. Gardner, we'll look after your boy. Don't worry about us, you know. And so anyways, hopped in that truck. It was
cracked a beer instantly.
Yeah, pretty much, you know. And anyways, we headed out west to Bella Coola, which is 4 or 5 hours out there, and it was kind of my first experience away from home and away from the parents, and I got to live the kind of the rodeo cowboy lifestyle, and I think
That's how
you
it
know
starts.
that really attracted me. Anyways, I got bucked off there, and I was riding one-handed. Well, we went to we went to Luke's, and he was like, hey, you got to ride two-handed before you can start riding one-handed. Let's get the feel for it, and then we'll think about it. So, yeah, I spent the week there and getting on steers and stuff like that. And I went to a rodeo that next weekend. I ended up riding one and winning my first buckle. And I think ever since then I was hooked
Which one?
on it.
Where was it?
It was like Whispering Pines is what it was called.
So that'd be like a BCRA rodeo then?
Yeah, I think it was a BCRA. It might have just been a jackpot rodeo.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just cool because I couldn't, Luke got me riding two-handed, and I started riding a few of them team roping steers, and then I went and got on like a big beef heifer and rode her around. She jumped and kicked hard, and I ended up winning the buckle, and it was just, it was a pretty cool feeling as a young kid being 12, and then I think I was hooked. I wanted to hang out with the bull riders all the time.
Who were some of the other bull riders around Ty at the time? I'm not remembering who would have been.
Well, there was Tanner Moore was around, Cody Moore was around, Junior was there. Junior definitely
He'd have been still getting on bulls.
Yeah, Craig Loring Jr.
Yeah, Junior was riding bulls.
Right around that time, he won an event in Kamloops.
Yeah.
Just north of town.
Yeah.
And he had the biggest party. Like, I think he spent all the money that he won that night in the bar in Cactus Jack's in Kamloops.
Well, that doesn't sound too far off. No, Junior was around, Ty was around, and I mean there was a handful
Probably
of
Wade
guys.
Marchand wasn't very far away.
Yeah, Lozier boys were around.
Reed and Kyle.
Yeah, Reed and Kyle.
Casey Atchell.
Casey was there, and those were kind of the older guys in BC that like they were kind of picked on me a bit, but I think it paid off. Gave me a bit of a tough skin, but yeah, no, it was good times back then for sure. Learned a lot from those guys.
What about Daryl Mills? What's his I don't know, effect or
influence even?
Influence, that's the word, on your career. Anything or a bit or not much?
Oh, for sure.
He's a little ways away in Fort St. John.
He comes from Pink Mountain, which is an hour and a half, about 2 hours north. Like he's out in the bush there. But I remember being a young kid, and me and my dad stopped. We were driving from up north, like way up north BC. We were coming back from a hunting or fishing trip. Anyways, we pulled in this Inga Lake, and the Mills were camped there, and I just remember being young, and he introduced me to Daryl, and he was like, this is a world champion bull rider, and as a young kid, I kind of thought that was pretty cool, and then I started like paying attention to that a little more, and then me and Daryl's daughter, we high school rodeoed a bit together. She was several years younger than me, but so he was always at the rodeos and always lending a hand when he could, and Daryl, he's a really nice guy, and he'd always come up to the chute and try and help, and it was just cool, world champion, and Daryl's a pretty humble guy about it too, right? So it's
very
just it's pretty cool to be around him, and see a guy from that far up north can go and be a world champ, especially back then when there was.
It was even harder to rodeo back then.
I think so, quite a bit harder,
right? Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to be able to high school rodeo around him, and he's still doing high school rodeo stuff with his youngest guy, and he's a big influence to all them high school rodeo kids up there for sure. So
I think
that's
you're already
cool.
I think you're already older than he was when he was a world champion, though.
He was 26,
and then he retired.
I'm 25 right now, but
So
you got a year.
You got a year and a half.
Yeah, I know. The pressure's on, right?
Well, and you also spend quite a bit of time at the other end of the arena, like you mentioned before. You learned how to rope calves and all that kind of stuff. And so, when did that start becoming a main part of your rodeoing? Like when you once obviously you got old enough to start like amateur and then to the pros. Like, is that always the goal to work both ends of the arena as you progress through your career?
Yeah, like I high school rodeoed always wanting to be the all-around cowboy in British Columbia, and I wasn't sure if I was going to continue to do those events in rodeo. Like I kind of my game plan. For the longest time, I just wanted to be a calf roper. That was going to be my main event, ride bulls and steer wrestle.
Less scary.
Yeah, maybe. And
I'd rather rope calves than steer wrestle, man. Steer wrestling's crazy shit.
Oh, dude, it's but I like being on a horse, and it's a cool event, especially calf roping. There's a lot of technicalities to it, and you gotta practice and practice proper. And I had a good little paint calf horse back in the day. I'd rope off of him quite a bit, and but anyways, so. Wanted to be the all-around cowboy in BC and did that, got that a year or two, I think, and then...
High school?
Yeah, in high school.
Okay.
And then kind of my goal was to go professional and ride bulls, calf rope, and steer wrestle. Anyways, I went to college in the States for a couple years. And
where at again?
It was San Luis Obispo, California. It was
a sick place to hang out.
Yeah.
It was a junior college to Cal Poly, and it was called Quest College. So... we weren't in the university or nothing. It was just a junior college. But kind of the reason I went down there is because when I went down there to look at the school, they showed me where I could live, and it was on a steer wrestler's ranch by the name of John W. Jones Jr. And him and his dad are both multi-time world champs. And Johnny, you meet him, you can tell he was a world champ. He's the most humble, nice guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And he's about 180 pounds, about the same size as me. So I kind of looked at that and I was like, well, this guy's a world champion, and he was a steer wrestler. And back when they were steer wrestling in the 1980s, they were big steers. If you watch them
steer
videos,
wrestling cows.
Yeah, they were steer wrestling cows, man. And so I kind of seen that as an opportunity to grow on that side of things. And then Lafuse were about 45 minutes to an hour south of there. And back then I was kind of on that riding style, and so I was like, okay, this is going to be a good place to go. You got this guy here, you can live on his ranch and bulldog, 3 to 4 times a week, and then you can go get on bulls twice a week. And
Gary's.
And so I kind of got set up down there for a couple years, and then I was really advancing with my calf roping skills, and then my good horse colic down there and passed away. And I just never, after that, I never really found a good horse to use, and I kind of lost interest in it, and I just more went steer wrestling and bull riding. That was more my focus. And then I kind of knew after college that I wanted to go ride bulls. I wanted to do that professionally for a few years, and I know I can always fall back on timed events as I get older and get more serious with them. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I kind of finished school down there. I started going to a few pro rodeos down there, getting my feet wet, and I come back up here, and there was a couple years up here where it got rough. The first year I broke my shoulder, so that put me out for the season. And then the second year I just got a few bad concussions. I think I went broke and, had to hang it up, and I just, learning, right?
Yeah.
So, what happened after that? The next year I got more prepared. I trained really hard, and then, Clayton Moore, I'd go and bulldog at his house, and he kind of was like, hey, like, you should enter, and I was like, well, man, I don't even know where to begin. He's like, don't worry, I'll help you out. So him and Stephen Culling, Stephen's another guy from up there, really, really good bulldogger. And they kind of just convinced me to start entering. Well, I started entering. I think the first rodeo I was at, Medicine Hat, I won a check, and so then I had to enter and get 2 more checks, and that's kind of how that all-around thing come around. I started entering the bulldogging, and those steer wrestlers are all super nice guys and have great horses, and they're more than, welcoming to let you ride.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you try it on. And
How do they feel when you beat them?
I think they're happy for you. They're it's kind of it's a good camaraderie. It's kind of like the bull riders. They're all good guys and happy to see you do good.
Even though you do 2 events, good, they still think you're all right.
I don't know. I hope so.
That's the one. Like, of all the other events, like, the 2 groups that like mesh together well is like the steer riders or steer wrestlers and the bull riders always seem to get. Even like back in the day, like, Ted, you got to pay attention, man. Turn the TV down.
Evander Kane.
Turn the TV down.
Oilers won rip.
Man, we're busy. We're working.
I know we are, but I'm just. I can do 2 things.
We got to pay attention to Canadian hockey too. This is important.
Man.
We need a Canadian team to win the cup.
Wacey's just mad because the Flames are.
No, I'm mad because you keep interrupting me.
That's funny.
Go on.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
2 events: steer wrestling.
Anyways, the steer wrestler guys they're all good dudes, and even I remember there's a couple times we were like at rodeo dances and stuff, and there would be a scrum start, and the steer wrestlers, as long as you had good rapport and the right guys were in town, you'd always feel safe at a rodeo dance with the steer wrestlers around. Oh yeah, no, it's a good end of the arena to be at when they're around. They're all good guys, and they're all really helpful, and as younger, kind of nervous just asking to use guys' horses and stuff, but
you had like Clayton and Steven. And tell me, do they both ride Clayton's horse, or both ride Steven's horse, or they both have like teams, or what's the deal? Well, Clayton's raised some really good horses, and he's raised some and sold some and stuff like that, and same with Steven. Like, Steven's got a really one on the go right now, and so like they had their horses going. They'd let me ride if I got the same days, but entering a rough stock, you don't always get set up the same days, so. Got to have a few guys you can lean on. Yeah, so then you just kind of start looking at the trades list and calling guys and just say, hey, I'm going to be here. Could I please use your horse? And most guys will say yeah, and then hopefully, and in return I can pull a check and pay him some money for a mount fee, right? Because they only make it if you make money. Like, there's no fee like $100 to ride my horse. It's only if you win money. No, it's
it's just a mount fee, and I mean, I'm sure some guys maybe have a deal or something like that, but that's kind of how I've done it. And
do they eventually just like say like, oh, sorry, I'm busy that day if you're not winning? Like, do they like, oh, sorry?
I
can't
think
give you
I mean,
horse.
They got a professional horse. They want to look good, and if you're not making the horse look good, they have more than a right to say, hey,
sorry, bud.
Can you go find another one?
How many times have you been told that?
I've never been told that. I feel like I do okay. But the only time you really get shut down is if their horses are full.
Too many guys.
Yeah, too many guys. Normally the max is 4 guys.
Oh, okay.
Or just a guy doesn't feel comfortable you riding that horse, and that's totally understandable. So
okay,
it's but I've never had a problem.
Have you had to ask a Cassidy for a horse?
Oh yeah, Curtis and Cody are really helpful.
I'm just giving them a hard time.
But no, they're really helpful.
Those guys are all the Bulldoggers. Like there's not any Bulldoggers that I don't like.
They're all sweet dudes.
I like Bulldoggers.
Man. Yeah, they're awesome.
Like,
they're a good group.
I have
of
no
guys.
problem with Bulldoggers. I'm a fan of the guys. I just had to like throw a dig in there.
You got it. You can
Just mess around. We're supposed to have Curtis on a show coming up. So
good.
Yeah, they're good. They're a good crew.
Yeah, I feel like Bulldoggers wanted to be bull riders, but maybe they got too big to be bull riders. Like Tanner Milan, he knows a lot about bulls. Like I remember we were in San Antonio last year, and this liner full of page bulls show up, and he's like, "Holy, there's Wild Goose and there's Chiseled," and I'm like, "Darn, dude, you know more of these bulls than I know." And
That's pretty cool.
And it's they love it for sure.
Well, when you're at a rodeo, the guys behind the chutes helping the bull riders on, it's always the steer wrestlers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Never any other event. Like team
yeah.
ropers kind of come to it because they're like right before the bull riding, and then the horse riders are all in their own little.
They're off drinking Bud Lights
already at that point.
Yeah.
So it's usually the steer wrestlers come to help out.
Ironing their pants.
That's my go-to is Clayton Moore. Clayton Moore, he's been there for some of my biggest bull riding rides, but I like Clayton because he's brutally honest. He ain't gonna sugarcoat anything. If I look off one, he'll make sure he lets me know, and I like that.
Did he say that? Does he say that? Like, yeah, you just looked off.
Oh, yeah. Even if it didn't, oh, you looked off, you pansy.
But those are the kind of guys you got to be around, man. If you expect to get better, you can't have those guys that are going to sugarcoat it or be like, oh, whatever. You gotta be real with you, and that's how you get better ultimately as a competitor.
No, exactly. You get aggressive and do better next time, and I appreciate the criticism like that. It's you can either take it as negative or positive, and I like to take it as positive.
How much do you spend on your horses to make sure they have all the right supplements to perform their best? What if we told you could get all the vitamins you need in one bag or lick? EquiPride and EquiLix are an all-in-one vitamin, mineral, and digestive aid supplement. They have 0 starch, 0 sugar, and 0 molasses, and consist of prebiotics, digestive enzymes, and broad amino acid profile. Your horse's health is important, and now it can be simple. Whether you prefer supplements in a top-dressed meal form or in a lick tub, your horses can get what they need without the added sugar and without the hassle of multiple feed supplements. Try this amazing horse supplement product by asking your local feed store to bring it in. Make sure to ask for EquiPride and EquiLix. You don't want to miss it, folks. So, Jake, it's no question that you're like an elite competitor. You're driven. You put it all out on the line every time you compete. But are you a superstitious guy? Do you have any kind of little things you have to do before every ride, like put your left boot on first, or tape your hand a certain way? Like, do you consider yourself a superstitious guy, or are you just a little stitious?
I wouldn't say I'm superstitious. There's some unknown written rules that I think you follow, like don't put your cowboy hat on the bed. Black cats crossing the road in front of me.
So you are superstitious, man.
Yeah, but those are the only 2 things. Black cats and cowboy hat on the bed. I mean, but the thing is...
What about the color yellow? What are your
We're going to do a new segment. We're
yellow?
going to rattle it off and see how you feel. So far, hat on the bed, no. Black cats, no. What about eating chicken before you ride?
No, see, that one's a myth. I eat chicken all the time now. I used to not. But that's what I mean. If a black cat crosses the road in front of me, I'm going to prefer not to cross it.
You're just not going to risk it.
But I will, and I'm not going to let it affect the way I ride. Like, that's just a weak mindset. To let little things like that affect your mindset to where you're like, oh, I put my cowboy hat on the bed, now it's bad luck. Like, no, that's not... That's,
okay.
I don't like thinking that way, but it's just more like it's it's a fun way of doing things. Like, okay, come on, guys, don't put your cowboy hats on the bed. That's just an old cowboy rule.
Yeah, it's an unwritten one.
I don't
for
know.
sure.
I ain't gonna say this is because of it, but I've crossed a few black cats and had some bad luck in my time. And I don't know if it's just coincidence, but
So
What
you're a little
happened?
stitious then. You're not superstitious, just a little.
well, one time
stitious.
going to Wainwright, I'm rolling into town. Black cat crosses the road. I thought, okay, well, I could go left and go around it, or I could go straight. Well, I kept going straight.
Uh-oh.
Anyways, next day, go to the rodeo. Dog a steer in the slack in the morning. I didn't do good. I was like a 5 in the rodeo that night. And then I got on a old bull, little black bull, really good one. Anyways, got jerked down, got knocked out.
Oh no.
So that was my bit of bad luck. You know, I ain't
It
blaming
only
it
takes
on
like
the
one
black
time
cat,
something
but
like
it's
that to
just something to
happen,
think
yeah.
about. You know what I mean?
So what about wearing yellow in the arena?
I think yellow's a good rodeo color.
Color Wrangler.
Yeah, I don't.
But you're
I
a
don't
cinch
see
guy,
any
though.
problems with.
Rocking the cinch stuff.
Yeah, Team Cinch.
Are you
Let's
actually a cinch
go.
guy now?
Yeah, I'm Cinch.
You're you guys
Yeah.
sponsored. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I've been with Cinch for the last few years, and
Yeah.
Man,
like
like
you're a
Jessica
wrestler guy.
Jessica Whaler, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. And
I got her hooked up with Dakota Butter quite a while ago now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and Cinch has been a great company to me. I mean, I love their clothes. I before Cinch, I used to wear Wrangler a lot, but I mean,
Yeah.
Cinch has treated me really good, and
That's awesome. I forgot about that.
They're really good to their athletes, so I can't complain with anything there.
They're good folks.
Well, and let's get into some of the traveling partners you've had over the years. You've been lucky to travel with like
What's your best
Posey
Brock
and
Radford
Brock
story?
and like Brock's a character, and Lonnie's a fun guy to travel with, and Pancake and Jerry. Like they're all really good guys. Like talk a bit about your traveling partners over the years.
Oh, I've had some really good traveling partners. I mean, like Clayton Moore's been one. You know, me and him have had some pretty wild times. Actually, I got a good Poos story. We were in Lee Park one time. Anyways, he stayed out drinking all night, and then we had to get to Rocky the next day.
And you went to bed early like a
Champion.
Not necessarily early, but I went to bed early enough.
like an
Well,
athlete.
I mean, when that happens, I guess I get first shift driving, so I got us there, I guess. But I mean, we got there and the rodeo went good, but it was kind of a long day. I didn't even have to go to Rocky. I just kind of went for the drive and
Oh dang.
caught a ride with old Prescott back to his place. But that was good. But no, I kind of over the years I just kind of branch off and do my own thing because I'm entered in that bulldog, and so it's kind of hard to travel with bull riders sometimes when I got to be at a certain place. But a few years ago, it was me, Nick Tetz, Jackson Scott, and Austin Nash, and boy, oh boy, did we have a fun year. The amount of miles we put on together and good times we had together, it was fun.
The only one that didn't make the finals that year was Jackson, wasn't it? For the CFR?
I think
Because Austin made it?
I think me and Nick did, or maybe I might have been the only one that year,
Oh,
to be
okay.
honest. But
Everybody except Jackson has made the finals now, though, in that truck, haven't they? Didn't Austin make it, too? Or am I remembering
yeah,
wrong?
I think so.
I thought he made it one time.
Jackson's had some tough luck. You know,
Yeah.
he got a few of them concussions, and it's hard to ride through them. But like that's my day one traveling partner is Jackson. I mean, me and him have been through it together, and I mean, we fight like brothers, you know. But we're best friends. That guy's my best friend. You know,
Good people.
really
The
good
whole
guy.
crew. And now Reed's his brother-in-law, right?
Yeah, that's
Reed
correct.
Lozier.
That
Yeah.
whole family is just a great family. Cole used to date my sister back in the day,
Yeah,
so
that's right.
they kind of, you know, I've always been around the Scott family and super nice people. But me and Jackson, we go way back. Like I remember,
High school probably in steer riding times,
junior
eh?
high days
Yeah.
and high school rodeo
Probably
days.
at Posey's house, too. You guys are about the same age.
Yeah, we were about the same age, hanging around there. I remember I was kind of a little bit of a rebel child back then, and Jackson he was kind of a good guy, and I remember he seen me chewing one time, and that kind of pissed him off, and so we were kind of off and on. And then as we got older, and he didn't start riding bulls till he was 18, and then we were just, you know, best bull riding buddies together. That was who we first started going to pro rodeos together and doing all that, you know, and there was three of us, me, Jackson, and Lane Cork. We kind of come out of
Lane.
BC.
That's a good motherfucker too.
Yeah.
I like Lane a lot.
And we all come out of BC there, and kind of, I guess, Ty Posmon proteges. You know, he kind of all taught us how to ride and got us going and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. I guess those 3 guys would be the main traveling partners, but then, you know, life goes on. Lane, he's got a family, and he's happy over there in BC, and
he's one of those guys who didn't he could have went and done really, really well, and he just kind of dabbled a bit and then stuck around BC and kicked ass, and then he's had his kid, and that was that. Yeah,
I think just, you know, got caught up doing other things, but I mean, there's more to life than rodeo, right? So
yeah. Well, and talk a bit about, you mentioned Posey, and you kind of grew up, but you started with the steer riding with him, and then he's obviously had a huge influence on your bull riding career. Talk a bit about how he kind of steered you in that direction to where you are now.
Oh, tough love, I guess. No, he kind of took me under his wing there when I was really young, and this is actually kind of funny. He had a cow. Do you guys remember the cow he had called Blondie?
I don't know.
He had this cow called Blondie. Anyways, I remember getting there, and they would get me on team rope and steers, but they had this cow named Blondie, and she bucked. Anyways, I didn't want to get on her. I was scared of her. Well, they pressured me and pressured me and pressured me, and finally I got on Blondie. Well, Blondie cracks it in the gate, to be about a 22-point cow, and licks her ass around to the right. I get jerked down, and she steps right on my head, but it was...
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a hockey helmet, and it just blew right off, blew into pieces, and it didn't land right on my head, but it skimmed it and just blew it off, and I got up. I'm like, holy crap. And I think it was Ty and Junior and maybe Casey Attrill. They're like, holy shit, we just about killed this kid off, you know.
And you're 12.
And I'm 12 years old. Well, whatever, you know, you get on some more steers or whatever. So then they're trying to get me on their practice bulls at 12 years old. I was like, no. And I was a little timid back then, you know. I didn't want to get killed off, so... But they were just trying to make me tougher, and I appreciated that. But yeah, he he just was always there for us younger guys, telling us where we should do or what we should do. You know, I'd send him videos. Kind of, we grew apart as he went to Texas there and kind of did his thing, got on tour. But we always stayed in touch, and he'd look at my videos and say, do this better or do that better. And so, no, it was definitely was good for us young BC guys back then.
Yeah, that was a cool thing about Ty. He was giving back before a lot of guys during his career, where a lot of guys kind of are so career focused they don't really start doing that part till they're after it. Where Posey was always he'd talk to you or lend you any advice you'd ask for whenever you'd ask for it, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool deal.
Well, and that's one thing I loved about Posey is he really tried to go and do it. You know, he was going to the biggest pro rodeos by himself or going on tour, you know, and just really getting down to the States and doing it. And that's one thing I admired about him is he wasn't afraid to enter and put his name down there.
There's not a lot of guys going. Well, there's actually quite a few that are going right now, but you're only entering in the bull riding down there. Is that correct?
Yeah, just because it's a bit of a different ball game entering a timed event and a rough stock down there. But yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for it down there and get it figured out. But I mean, the way things are in Canada, you know, a guy can stay up here throughout the summer and you know, make a pretty decent living. So, I mean, that's cool, right? But for me, I really want to make bull riding my career and be able to do it all year and not have to work, right? And that's kind of what I've been trying to do. And so I'm trying to get down there, and there's a lot of money to be won down there. So
2 questions. What are your thoughts on the all-around versus high point in Canada?
Oh, Ted.
Second question I'll get to after a minute, but first off, what do you think?
You mean them changing it, or
did they change it? Because I saw something about a Kenny McLean Award up here. What's the deal with that?
Well, the Kenny McLean Award now it's a rough stock and a timed event.
It's all around,
and now the all-around is essentially the
high 2 point. Events.
It's 2 events now, so it's the same as the PRCA.
But a Kenny McLean is like the Linderman down there. But
exactly.
Linderman is 3 events, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't Linderman 3 events?
No, I think it's 2. Maybe it is 3.
I think it has to be a rough stock, though. Rough stock and a timed event.
Yeah, it's a rough stock and a timed event, and you have to win $1,000 in each event.
Yeah. No shit. So the CPRA dropped the true all-around award. But what do you think? Do you think all-around was the Canadian way where it was that, or do you think it was just 2 events?
I mean, I think all-around means all around the arena.
Yeah,
that's
both
a good
sides.
Point. That's a good point.
Because I'm with you. I thought it was that way too.
I mean, down in the state, Stetson, he is an all-around cowboy. He that guy is phenomenal.
But he doesn't do time events.
No, but I mean, it's a different award down there. Whereas I liked it up here in Canada. It kind of seemed traditional, you know, all around the arena. But I guess I don't know. I guess they didn't like it that way, so someone changed
Who's
it.
they?
I don't know.
It
don't
one
matter.
end of the arena.
Who's the high point winners lately that would have wanted to change
I don't know.
to all around?
I don't
Yeah.
think anyone wanted to change it. I just think that
Somebody did. It changed
Well, I think not enough people were qualifying for the all around.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
okay.
maybe they wanted to make it
A bit more competitive.
a bit more competitive.
Huh.
But
But it's just a high point now. Well, but not
Like
just a high
Jared's
point.
a good case for it though.
He wouldn't have won it last year. He would have only won the all around.
But he won the all around. But he pulled
On both
just
events.
two. But he just made just 2 checks in the team rope and that was it. Like he didn't pursue it.
Yeah,
more.
it's been tougher that
But
way.
I mean,
That's
like
true.
where the competitive point of it. Where
What are
it's
you
like,
devaluing what Jake does?
No, but he enters like, consistently throughout the year. Where Jared won a couple checks and that was it. Like he entered.
well, I think last
not
year
taking
was,
not taking away from Jared either, but I'm just like the competitive side of it.
Kind of sounds like you are.
It's fucking Jared, man.
No,
Fuck that guy.
Jared's an all-around cowboy. And
He is.
definitely
He's
deserved
cowboys
that
that count.
award. He made some really good team roping times last year, and there wasn't a whole lot of rodeos to go to, and he did enter quite a bit in the team roping, and I think he fully deserves that award. You know, he is an all-around cowboy. But like anyone to say that that's an easy award or it's not competitive, obviously
Like
hasn't
Wacey?
tried that
Like
hard
Wacey just
because
did?
I didn't say it was
the
easy.
first year I got it, it was pretty tough to get those 3 checks.
Yeah, it is.
And then the second year, I did quite a bit better getting those checks, but like it's tough. We got a lot of handy timed event guys in Canada,
Yeah.
and to step into their end and compete against them, a guy's got to have his shit together. And
you got guys that they specialize in that. Like
Yeah.
those events are what they do.
No,
And for you
exactly.
to come in as a secondary event,
Yeah.
like it's to pull checks. That's like something to say in that regard.
But in regards to them changing it, now it's the all-around just in 2 events. I mean, I heard about that, and one goal for me this year is I'd really like to try and make the CFR and the steer wrestling and make a good effort at it. Before, I was just trying to get checks. I'd like to try and get in there and maybe win that all-around award, and I think that would be pretty cool
Hell
to
yeah,
do it
man.
against,
I love that.
everyone rather than just the guys
Yeah.
doing rough stock and a timed event.
That's
so,
cool.
But
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I do think it's good. It's going to make it more competitive that way, and the Kenny McLean Award's going to be great. That's
100%.
a great cowboy to honor.
Another great BC cowboy.
Part 2 of your question.
I actually forgot what it was. now.
Okay, I got one. So the one thing I was wondering while driving up here is, as much as you've been down in the U.S. now and you've been competing in Canada for a long time, like what's the main difference you're seeing between the Canadian state of bull riding versus the American state of bull riding? Like what's the main difference between like the PRCA and CPRA
Or is
level
there
of
one?
competition? Or is there one at all?
It's different down there for the sense they have, California's population is bigger than Canada's in a whole. So, there's a lot more people down there doing that sport. So I think there's a lot more guys that are competitively doing it. Like I was hanging out at Boudreaux Campbell's ranch, and he has 4-year-old kids getting on one-handed that ride these calves, that you could be 80 points on. And it's just like, it's crazy to see that they start them that young, and it's a little more competitive down there, I'd have to say. It's competitive up here, but there's just a lot more guys down there you got to compete against.
Yeah.
And I mean, the rodeoing's different. You got to go, you might be entered somewhere Wednesday, then you got an 8-hour drive the next day, and then you got a 4-hour drive on Friday, and then, you got to go 12 hours north to somewhere
Going across
else.
the country in 3
and
days.
That's, like getting into this busy time of year, it gets pretty rugged, and it's harder that way because you put on a lot more miles, I think.
Yeah.
And whereas up here, next week there's Leduc, Han Hills, and Bonneville. Well, a guy can hit all 3 and be home,
On Sunday.
and leave on the same days. And I think that's, we're pretty lucky that way. And so
I figured out what it was. I was wondering what your real job was when you aren't rodeoing or when you need to make some cash. If you're off for a while or injured, like how are you making your living otherwise now? Or how did you in the past?
Well, I come from kind of an oil field family too. My dad's always been off and on in the pipeline industry, and kind of when I was younger, got out of school, he kind of was, and I broke my shoulder that first year. He was like, "Hey, you need to go work and do something because you ain't gonna be able to ride bulls for a bit." So I went and pipelined, and I mean it's not the best work. You got to kind of have a thick backbone for it, but I mean life's what you make out of it, right? And I don't mind pipelining. It gets me into good shape, gives me good quick money, and then it also just fuels my fire to go be better rodeo cowboy.
Really
So
makes
I don't
you wanna
have
rodeo.
to. Yeah, it makes
have
me
to
want to
go to
do
work.
it better.
It's
You
like
know,
Gary tells us, you find that job you hate to work, and you
Yeah.
want to ride bulls better.
But I think for a young guy that, you know, really wants to go rodeo hard in Canada and not have to worry about money, you know, it's slow enough for 4 months in the winter. If you go get a pipeline job for 4 months, you could come out of there with, say, 40,000, and you can go and rodeo all winter long or all summer long, and, you know, get a feel for it and be comfortable and not have to worry. Like, I hear a lot of guys like, oh, you know, why didn't you go here? Or why can't you come practice? Oh, because I got to go work. Well, shoot, man, we didn't have no rodeos for 4 or 5 months. Why didn't you save up then so you could put it all on the line? Well, we're busy right now.
That's what I used to do. Got to go work on the rigs
Yeah.
for 4 months, make 40, 50 grand, and then you're good. You don't have
Good to
worry about
go. And
nothing. Yeah.
I don't mind that industry just for that. And that's what I did. I tore my bicep this last winter, and I took 2 months off, and then I went to work in January and February, and I just got tired of sitting around. I probably shouldn't have been doing much, but I mean, shoot, I was with Acumen and Brandon Thomey, and they got me back into shape with this arm, but also that pipelining was really good physical therapy. So
Yeah, that's good stuff.
yeah,
Where were you? Were you on the Edson rig with the Browns?
yeah, on the Edson.
Yeah.
Cam Brown actually lined me up with the job with a guy named Curtis Browsen, and
His dad runs the whole rig, doesn't he? Or like the
yeah,
whole
kind of runs
deal?
the show up there.
What's his
and,
name again?
Dale.
Dale. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, them guys, you know, they got a lot of Cowboys jobs, and now a lot of them Cowboys are gone rodeoing now, especially when COVID come along and there was no work. You know, like Logan Hay and Dawson Hay, they were up there for a couple months, and then shoot, they went down south, and one of them ended up making the NFR, you know.
Yeah.
Huh. Somebody
Well,
also
I
started
want-
some hats that say pipeline shit. They
And,
copied
yeah, I
us.
seen a few of them up there.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. I wanted to call him.
Well, and one
Ask
thing,
him what the hell.
too about the oil field and that kind of, and the oil patch in general is like they're big supporters of rodeo and Western
Yeah.
sports, especially in Canada. That can turn into, you go there, work hard for a company, that could turn into a sponsorship for you or whatever. There's more to it than just going there and busting your ass for the winter. I know the company I work for, they
That's
sponsored me.
most of it.
They sponsored me for 2 years.
You got lucky.
Well, you talk to you talk to the right people though, and make connections and stuff. Like they have the
Yeah,
money
maybe.
to support people, right? Like it's all about that networking part of yourself too that you need to have. But anyways, it's nice to be involved in that. You can see why they're such big supporters of rodeo, just because
Great motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those kind of people are in it.
Yeah, for sure.
How many newfies have you worked with?
I've worked with a handful, and
What's the best piece of advice you've ever got working in the oil field?
What's the one? Don't put your
don't put your hand. Yeah, don't put your hand where you
Wouldn't
where
put
you
your
wouldn't
pecker.
put your pecker. That's a pretty good one. That's a known one. I
That's
guess we all knew that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like that one.
Any that we haven't heard though?
Oh shoot! Can't be a pussy in a pipeliner, I guess. No offense to anyone listening out there, but that's oil field talk for you. And
If you ain't a pipeliner, you're a pussy.
yeah. No, that's just it's
that's
a rugged industry. You got to have a thick backbone to work in it. But I kind of grew up in Fort St. John, and it's a pretty rugged town. You know, it's you got to have thick skin, or your feelings will get hurt. So
One thing we haven't talked about yet is the PBR Global Cup. You've competed
Yeah.
on Team Canada for a couple times now, and talk about representing your country on that stage, and yeah, just being at the highest level. And it's kind of a different format. You're not as an individual, like say the PBR World Finals or the UTBs, like that kind of stuff. Like you're there by yourself, but when you're there at that with your buddies and guys you've grown up with and competed with, like that's a whole other thing.
yeah, man, the Global Cup is probably the coolest thing I've had the chance to compete in. I mean, the first year I was there as an alternate in Edmonton out of 14 guys, and at that time I wasn't riding as near as good as I am now. But I kind of got thrown in there and had to get on an eliminator and got one jumped, and it really kind of hurt my confidence. And after that, I was like, you know what, that's never going to happen again. You're going to come back and be on that team one day, and you're going to show your country, you know, how to ride for them. And then a few years later, you know, I got the chance to go again down in Arlington, and I mean, it worked out good. I got one good one rode, and just about rode another good one, and it was good. Like,
You're the only guy to get a score one year, weren't you?
no, Zane got a score.
That wasn't it this year? This year was pretty rough.
That was Brock this year. Brock really
okay.
pulled our team together. This year, you know, went down there. The Bulls this year, I think, were the best they've ever been. They were all 90 pointers across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's one day,
Yeah.
you can kind of do that. I don't think one day was enough either. And
Took
without the
took away
chaps
from
and the
the event.
jerseys, there were still jerseys. There was no chaps though. Like didn't look like as much of a team event.
Well, with COVID and everything, I think it got thrown together pretty quick, but it was still good. And I mean, our whole team, we were there to win, and it's just this bull riding. It's a tough sport, but like Brock, he pulled it together for us, and we didn't finish last, so I guess that's a good thing.
It's one of those things. It's kind of like the NHL playoffs, where it's like it's a lot of, but it's where like it takes, you got to have some skill, you got to have a lot of luck, and then you have those two things, and you can go on a run, especially on a one-day event. Like
gotta have a good goalie.
If you come up, you show up there like, and you get some lucky, you get lucky, you gotta make some rides, like whatever, like that. You can really gain some momentum that way. Whereas if same on the opposite, if things are going bad, they're going to go bad. Like it's not going to be as good as it should be.
Oh, for sure. And that's like, I don't know. Our whole team tried. We all tried hard.
Yeah,
we had a little tough luck on a few of them, and I mean,
it wasn't that you guys rode bad. Like it just
no,
there was
just
some bad
bucking
luck,
bulls.
and there was some bad like didn't Jordy get should have probably got a score or a reride or
he should have got a reride.
Something got
they
fucked up
say
there.
them stupid halters that these guys use. If your bull leaves the chute incorrectly with the halter on, you're supposed to get a reride. Well, that's what happened in Jordy's case, and he didn't get one. Whatever, that's the judge's discretion. It is what it is. But he probably should have got one there, so that was kind of tough luck. But you win some, you lose some, and it's bull riding. It's a tough sport. But I mean, if you when we were searching up our bulls, it was like 30 outs, 2 rides, 40 rides, or 40 outs, 1 ride. Like we were getting on some stout stuff with
the
hard ones.
Hard to ride suckers. And I mean, shoot, it could have went the other way, and we could have rode all of them, right?
Yeah, that's just it, man.
I mean, congrats to that American team. They did phenomenal. Ross and them Eagles. I mean, they showed up to ride them boys, and they were all young, and that was pretty cool to see. But I mean, our fire is fueled, and I think next year we're gonna win that sucker. And I mean, Tanner, he did a great job being coach, and I'm excited to see what it comes in the next few years.
100%.
What's it going to take to win?
We're just gonna have to cowboy up and be tough.
You guys. So the thing I've noticed is that, not that I've noticed, but like just the way the stats are stacked. You've got Jose, you've got Silvano, maybe you've got
Dalen, you got the top guys.
Yeah, and they're all all world champions, and they're all at the top of the standings. And you guys are we might have a couple guys that are top 35 or top 50, but like for the majority, like on average, those top guys are going to ride more bulls than you guys, and you guys can show up and do it on that day. But the odds are stacked against you almost, right? Like really, like it's going to take an above average day almost for, and it's got to really go right for us to win. Honestly, like unfortunately, those guys are just going to ride more bulls when it's based on scores, right? Like it's going to take a little bit.
No, and you're not wrong by saying that.
Yeah,
I mean, they have. I guess you could say it's a little more bull experience. I think, every guy on that team we had has been on the ranked bulls. So I think we have a good chance. But I think another thing is we could maybe try and get on those ranker ones, those 90-pointers, 92-pointers, try and get on them a little more consistently and maybe be a little more sharper. But I mean, on any good day, like every guy on that team rides ranked bulls really good. I mean, you can't really, it's just bull riding, it's
like
tough.
Like we talked about with Chad Blankenship, the team.
It's offside. Don't go.
Okay, but it shows that the Oilers are playing the Avalanche right now. It's Tuesday night, day before the show.
Oh, it's
we're
a good
watching
goal.
right now.
Never mind, I lied.
It was a good goal, yeah, 2-2 or 3-2. But anyways, we were talking about like Canada. You guys were really close the year before. Like it wasn't far off. Like a couple rides here or there, and a couple good ones off the bat, and kind of got some momentum, and it was really rocking. And then this last year was. I don't think that the atmosphere at that show helped it out this year. I think it just wasn't as great of a Global Cup, like you said, last minute throwing it together. Like
it wasn't the focal point of the event, which is what like every time there's been the Global Cup,
it was the feature before.
It was the feature event, and there was like some like built up around it, and even if like say you have a shitty first day, you still come back the second day and make a bunch of bull rides and still be in the mix. It's not over after one day.
What do you think?
I think the boys, we had a bit of tough luck there. I don't think any of that has anything to play with it.
No.
I think if we were to redo it the next day, it probably
Be
we
different.
would have been
Changed
at
altogether.
80%. You know, and
Yeah,
I know what you guys are saying, but everyone on that team rides really good, and
100%.
I guess it just wasn't our day to be great. And
Well, most of the
that's
guys
the way
have
bull
competed at that
riding is,
level
right?
and done well. Like Jared's done really well at the World
Yeah, yeah.
Finals.
Yep.
Jordy's been there. Brock's been there. All them guys, they know what it's about. It's just a matter of
And each of us have all been successful at a Global Cup years prior to that. You know, the year before when Scott and Tanner Gerlitz were coach, you know, they put together a great team, did a great job, and our team showed up there, and we did have a good chance. And there was a few bulls that we let slip away from us, but it's bull riding, right? And then I think the year before that, them guys were in Australia, and they did awesome. I think they placed, second or third?
Second or
right?
third, yeah.
So, I mean, it's a matter of time, and I think we're gonna get that sucker one eventually.
cool.
What else we got? Anything?
I think I've hit everything I need to hit. We got one more question for the end, but
Yeah.
unless you got anything else.
I don't think we have too much more time either, but so let's just get
all
to
right,
it,
Jake.
Wace.
Well, thanks for the time, man. Thanks for coming in town, meeting with us. It's always fun. We can do this in person. But one last question for you. What is your definition of cowboy shit?
I don't know. I was thinking about it quite a bit, but I don't know. My definition of cowboy shit would be, you know, just tying your hand to that rank one that no one wants to get on, everyone's scared of, and just, you know, you're sliding up in that chute, just it's do or die time. You know, it's you're gonna go win the rodeo, you know, and that, and just being a respectful person and just always willing to lend a hand to people, and, you know, just giving a good reputation to the Cowboys, to the people that don't really understand our way of life, I'd have to say.
I like it. It's good stuff.
We appreciate what you do, Jake, and
Appreciate
happy
it.
to see you doing
well,
good,
man. You're kicking ass.
Yeah.
They keep kicking ass.
Oh,
Congrats
dude.
on the Grand Prairie success.
I appreciate it, guys.
and
You know,
congrats.
it's just diamonds one day, dust the next. You know,
Hey,
it's-
but kudos to going and doing it. You know, like, I know it's lonely out there when you're on the road and down south and you're gone for so long, and like, it's not easy. So kudos to going and after it and going, giving it a go.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for saying that. Means a lot.
We're cheering for you, bud.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Keep it up. All right, Jake Gardner, thanks for joining us.
Get back in the flow. 8 seconds is a long damn time. It's more than the shine in the buckle, broken hearts, busted knuckles. You know you gotta hustle. You're sifting through the rubble to find your soul's on the line and you're running behind. It's more than the shine.
Thanks to Jake Gardner for being a part of the show this week. As Jake was leaving, he said, "Oh, I wish that I would have thanked Prescott. Ty and Barry Prescott were a huge influence on his career." Jake actually lived out there at the Prescott
time.
place for quite a while,
Yeah.
and Prescott's huge supporters in the bull riding business and rodeo business in Canada. Ty and Barry, so out in Strathmore there, Ty's fighting bulls. He was up in Grand Prairie this past week. He's doing great. I think he said he was getting married later this summer.
Oh, really?
So
Nice.
that's exciting, and yeah. So Jake wanted to make sure that if Ty and Barry were listening, that they knew that they were an important part of his career, and just wanted to say thank you. So thanks again to Ty and Barry Prescott. Thanks to Jake Gardner. Appreciate you coming down and do the show with us. And got a little bit of sponsor news for you here, Wace.
Does your horse have a dull coat, Ted?
Yeah, you know, actually, my horse does have a dull coat.
Maybe their hooves have trouble growing.
Really?
Or maybe your horse has some colic issues. What do you do, Ted?
Hey, Jake Gardner's horse had a colic issue.
Your dad.
Not a good time.
His horse dad.
Yeah, it sucks.
Colic ain't good.
No. So we have teamed up with EquiPride and EquiLix, which are an all-in-one vitamin, mineral, and digestive aid supplement. The supplement helps with all those issues and more.
But wait, there's more.
EquiPride is the top dressed meal.
EquiPride.
EquiPride is the top dressed meal form, and EquiLix is the free choice lick tub, and is the only non-molasses protein tub on the market. Both are great options to feed your horse. Try this amazing horse supplement product by asking your local feed store to bring in EquiPride and EquiLix today.
EquiPride.
EquiPride.
Good job, man. Stuff's hard.
Did I say EquiPride?
You said EquiPride. For sure you did.
EquiPride. Thanks
But
to our
hey.
friend Eric Thornburg.
Thanks for joining up.
Saw him at the Horse Expo, and we made a deal.
Made a deal.
Here we are.
So barrel
Cowboy
racers,
shit is brought to you by EquiPride and EquiLix.
get it in stores today.
What about barrel racers?
Barrel racers, this is good for your horse, man. Get it happening.
And if you don't like EquiPride, then fuck
Then
you.
if your horse doesn't lick EquiPride, then fuck you.
If your horse doesn't use EquiLix,
then fuck you.
you're probably going to get a slow time.
Oh, it's guaranteed to shave. If you're a 2D horse, you're getting into the 1D with EquiPride and EquiLix.
Uh-oh.
It's guaranteed.
Wace, we're watching the game right now. The Oilers and
getting
the...
routed.
Yeah, it's 6-3 Colorado
So
already.
you mentioned the Oilers. I owe you a
It
game.
was
I owe-
2-2 at one point.
I owe you a game
Now
of
it's
golf.
6-3, and it's not even halfway through the game.
That's
And
not
knowing
a
the
big deal.
Oilers, they can come back from this. They can financially recover from this.
That's the one that when you have the best player in the world in your team, you can never count them out.
Mikko Koskinen about to go in the net for the Oilers. But yes, the Calgary Flames have been eliminated from the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs by the Edmonton Oilers. And if you look back to last show, Wace and I put a wager up. It wasn't my idea; it was his idea, and he was. I was very confident in the Flames.
Yeah,
After the round
everybody
one.
was.
And I was
Everybody
not
was.
super confident. I was a little concerned about the Oilers. They were the underdog. As far as everyone's concerned, they were the underdog.
Yeah.
And they came out and won it.
Hey, man, I'll eat crow on that one. The Oilers going to play,
It was great.
but I will. Yeah,
I was nervous. I
Yeah.
know Chris Russell listens to the show sometimes. You might be hearing this, but they probably knew it in the dressing room too that they probably thought they were the underdogs. So
Yeah, man.
I think it's
But
fair.
they did well, man. I think what the biggest thing that happened was Calgary played into their hand, tried to play run and gun. McDavid and Draisaitl on another level. Markstrom played bad, and so I'm buying you a round of golf at the Banff Springs.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Does that include dinner too, or just golf?
No, just golf.
Just golf.
You can buy dinner.
Do golf cart or
It's
do I
like
have to
$200
walk?
a round.
Carts too, or just walk?
We're carting.
Do I?
Unless you want to walk it.
Do I need to get rental clubs, or do I have to bring my own?
You have to get rentals. We're gonna share one bag of clubs.
One bag of clubs.
But no, that's good.
We
Congratulations.
should do it. We should do a round of golf where we can only play with a 7-iron sometime. That'd be kind of funny.
Well,
Bit of a
I had a group
challenge.
of friends not long ago. They went to a par 3 course, and there was a 3 clubs. So you could pick 3 clubs out of your bag, and that's all you
Yeah,
get.
that's it.
Yeah.
And somebody didn't even take a putter, right?
I didn't play. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
I heard them talking about it though, and somebody didn't even take a putter.
Yeah. So I mean, that'd be fun to get a group of fellas together and just
It's a little
grab 3
foursome, just
clubs,
mess around.
go play at the Little Devil par 3 course and just mess around. Be super
Pretty
fun.
entertaining.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah.
I did a par 3 one
congrats,
time
man.
and had maybe only one club. I might have only had a pitching wedge and a putter.
That's all you need, really.
There were rentals at a crappy course in Regina before our wedding one time. It was a little par 3 Regina. It was flat. There was nothing there. It was just totally flat. I think I only had one good club.
It's like most golf courses in Regina are all just totally flat.
Except for, I don't even know what else is in town. But anyways, yeah, Oilers, I was pretty happy to see you. I'm thinking they're in deep against Colorado, but they got a chance. And I mean, it's only halfway through the game, so we don't know what's going to happen here.
Only halfway through the game. It's only game 1. It's
We'll
a
see.
7-game series for
It
a
is.
reason. So
And they lost to Calgary first game, and LA.
they sure did.
They're 0 for 2, and they made it on. So
They sure did, man.
who you got
So
the rest of the way now, though?
Tampa
What do you
Bay.
think? Tampa?
I'm cheering for Tampa.
It's not a bad bet.
I mean, the way Vasilevsky's playing, he's back to his playoff form.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be Tampa, Colorado in the final.
That's probably not a bad call. I
Yeah.
think that I would have thought that at some
The
point.
cool thing will be Shesterkin versus Vasilevsky in the
This
East.
round. Yeah, in the East
It's
Conference.
very
Yeah.
good.
And in the West, it's 2 former Arizona Coyote goalies.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Darcy Kemper and Mike Smith.
Yeah. So no
So-
biggie, man.
We don't need to talk hockey. You didn't come here to listen all about hockey. Rodeo. I don't know what's happening.
Well, I was gonna talk about a nice thing about having a girlfriend. Is
Yeah. Go ahead.
My skincare. I'm
Oh,
on skincare
really?
routines now. She's
Really?
got me moisturizing. I even got this moisturizing loofah
Really? For your back?
for my back and my arms and my
Really?
skin.
Loofah. What kind of products are you using?
Whatever she's got. She got some expensive shit. That's awesome.
And you use her stuff.
She lets me use it.
Did she leave it at your house?
No. She's
Oh,
no. I only
she
get that's the crappy part about the long distance thing is I don't get that luxury when I'm at home.
When are you
or
moving
we're
to
not
BC?
together.
About September?
Next year probably when my lease is up
Yeah. Lease is up next year?
in April. Yeah, I
Mm.
just re-signed it not long before Jen and I had met. So, no, it's good, man. Good stuff. But yeah, that's one. My skincare has been off the charts.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks, man. It's been good.
This
It's
is
been
exciting.
It's been a long road.
It's exciting.
It's been a long road to get to this point.
It's awesome.
There's
I
been
mean,
a lot of ups, a lot of mostly downs.
oh, so is it okay if I talk about? Okay, so Storm's brother Tristan.
Oh yeah.
So some shit went down. and
Poor
he.
kid.
Oh, Ellie, are you okay, Ellie? Oh no, all right, bye. And and so some shit went down, and I didn't get to call him. I was busy at Grand Prairie. Like I was kind of slammed. My speakers got rained on. I was a little nervous, and it was 12-hour days in Grand Prairie, and it was long. It was a big day. A great rodeo. It went super good. Had a great show. Awesome work with Feature Productions, Sam Winslow, Sean Weeb, Chris Cook.
They get the good crew up there.
Yeah, the whole crew, because it wasn't doubled up.
Yeah.
Like rarely. Well, like one of the times it wasn't doubled up. So yeah, had a great week up there with the crew. Brett Gardner. We had lunch together 3 days. I had 3 beef dips in a row.
Nice.
Was a big fan of that. But Tristan gets dumped, and then I'm thinking about
For those who don't know, Tristan, it's Storm's brother.
Storm's brother, yeah. So shit goes down, and then I would think about last night. I'm like, Storm, would it be offside if I sent Tristan a funny message? Cause like, what do you say when a guy gets dumped? You're like, oh, sorry, like for you, like
Sucks to suck.
yeah, like what do you do? and I'm like, would it be funny if I sent him like one of Wacey's sad boy playlists? So I text Wacey and I was like, hey, would you send me one of your sad?
I think I messaged you back instantly. Too.
You did
I had
it
on the
ready.
ready.
and I texted to Tristan. I was like, when Wacey's sad, he plays this. And then he texted me back. He's like, you know what? Today was actually a really good day. I had a good day again. So I was happy that he was feeling better, because it sucks. But he's like, what is he? 22?
He's young.
21?
He's young.
He's not even 20.
Not even 20.
He's not even 20. It's his first girlfriend. They've been together
Dude,
for a long
that's,
time. Like that's like he needs to go and see the world.
He's heading down a dark path. I've been down it.
If you want to give him any guidance.
There's
Wacey, if you were to give yourself some advice,
myself
as a almost 30-year-old man now,
oh my god,
turning 30 years old this year,
Craigie.
giving yourself advice from the last decade, what would you a letter to your younger self, you might say? 20-year-old Wacey,
in
what would
regards
you
to
say?
like dating life,
Man, just anything.
life in general.
Life in general. 10 years down the road, what would you say? What would you say to yourself?
I would say,
Dear Wacey.
dear Wacey, this is future Wacey talking to you right now. This is your older self. This is me when you're almost 30. You're not as cool as you think you are. Don't take life so serious all the time.
Life's a garden.
Life's a garden. Dig it. Life is short. Stunt it. I don't know, man. I would just be like, yeah, just keep on keeping on, man. Shit's not gonna. It's like, I don't know, just like kind of ride the wave. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes maybe shit.
Did you
Just keep on trucking along, man.
As far as advice goes, was there anything like really devastating that happened to you when you were 20 and you thought you like would never financially recover from that?
Honestly, man, it was when I was 23 when I had to quit riding bulls. That was the most devastating.
See, that's
thing
what
in
I'm
my
getting
life.
at. Is like,
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something where you could
honestly, dude,
soften the blow and be like,
it'd
there's
been
more
like,
to life than
I'd
rodeo.
just be like, hey, man, it's gonna be okay. Like that was
Yeah.
like when I had to quit, I lost my identity. Like that was everything to me. Like, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? I'm 23. I have nothing. Like everything up until that point had been rodeo, like centered around rodeo. Every decision I made, like all the work decisions I made.
There's some people that still are rodeoing that probably could quit, that haven't found their identity otherwise.
And it took me a long time to figure it out that there was more to life in rodeo. And I was thinking about it the other day, actually. Like, I'm so thankful for the decision that I made, because look where I'm at now. Like, you know, like, sure, it sucks I never got to continue my rodeo career, but I'm healthy. We got some cool stuff going for us, and met a really cool girl. Like, it's just things are. It seems like a long time and a lot of ups and downs, but everything's falling into place and shit's good. So it's just like don't worry too much. And that bigger, it's the bigger picture thing is like, I wish I'd have realized the bigger picture sooner, because I was like pretty resentful and upset for like a year after I quit. I was like, this sucks. Like, I don't know what the hell to do. So once you realize that there's more to life than rodeo, and there's a life to be, you can still be involved in rodeo in your life. You don't have to be in the arena. So I mean, it's one of those just like, just take it easy, man. Like, it's gonna be all good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
when it comes to dating advice, it's like, man, you're not even 20. Like, go live your life.
yeah, it's true.
Dating sucks, especially in this day and age.
What do
You'll
they
find
call
the
it?
right
You
person.
gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go.
Just gotta keep. As long as you
see some
keep
people
showing up, man.
hang
That's
around.
one of those things. As long as you keep trying
Yeah.
and stuff, you're gonna meet the right person, and it's gonna fall into place, and you're gonna be happy.
You
all
gotta keep
good.
showing up though. That's the thing. You
Gotta
can't
keep
just
showing
go
up.
hermit up in the basement. You gotta go do shit.
I know a lot of folks who have that like poor me attitude and kind of shut themselves off from the world. It's like, no wonder, like, you're not putting yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And that's, I think you and I are, and like even Storm, we're in a unique position because we put ourselves out there constantly with all the stuff that we do. So it's a little bit easier maybe for people like us, but
We're doing things
for folks maybe
little more
it isn't.
outgoing.
But just keep
Well,
showing up and
that's
keep
their
giving it a try, and it'll work
prerogative.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it with other folks. Like my brother was the same way. Like he was dating a girl in high school, got broken up with, broke his heart. Dated a couple of people on the way, didn't work out, and he met his wife. Now they had their first kid not too long ago. And it's just like just keep showing up. So, you met Storm
at a rodeo.
At the rodeo. You know, that kind of shit, man. Just keep doing it. Keep on keeping on.
Last thing I want to talk about. People that still don't wash their hands in the bathroom.
Man, we've been meaning to talk about this for a long time.
Yeah, not a fan. Oh man, I have another one too. Okay, I think it's gross if you're still not washing your hands. Yeah, wash your hands.
There's only one time that it's acceptable to not wash your hands.
When you just pee and don't pee on your hands?
No, when you're fresh out of the shower in your own house and you haven't left anywhere. Like if I'm at home and I just got a shower and I take a pee, if I don't wash my hands, I'm not going to be too upset about it.
My hands.
But I see a lot of people. Do you know where I see it often happen? Is the fucking airport.
Ooh, gross.
Yeah, the airport's where I see it the most. So, girls, stop it.
Don't
be looking at doorknobs at the airport, folks.
The other one though was at the Kids Up Front tournament. So I was at the
poker tournament.
Yeah, and I was playing poker next to a guy, and we got talking, and then he beat me out. So I gave him the cowboy shit buckle and the hat, and
okay.
Yeah, and this fucking guy, he had a fake ID. No, he had a fake
CPRA card,
a fake Canadian Pro Rodeo Association card. And it said he was a bullfighter, and his name was Dusty Sandusky. It was hilarious. He had a fake fucking card. Yeah, and he was. Yeah, that was his name. On him.
On his person.
I carry my credit cards and my ID.
That's it.
And some cash. Mm-hmm. And he has a fucking fake card he made 15 years ago to get into the Ranchmans. And then, I'm just assuming, but he probably might have used it on a lady or two that might have got. What do you call that? Might have got. Yeah. Yes. Anyone out there want to call the Dusty Sandusky hotline on?
It's open.
It's open.
Reach out to us.
Based on
if you've been Dusty Sandusky, we want to know. Actually,
we want to know. We want to know if you met a guy at the Ranchmans who had a rodeo card and he was a bullfighter, and his name was Dusty Sandusky. We got to know because we're gonna get him on the phone and ask him to own up to
some shit.
To some shit.
That's funny. I love that. That's like most people would make a fake ID. He's making a fake pro rodeo.
Fake rodeo card.
Love
it. Who does that? And it actually looked like I actually thought it was an actual card for a while. Like I looked at it, I was like, yeah, but he spelled Canadian wrong.
Yeah,
it was Candian. I forget what his name is now, but it was fucking hilarious.
They're good folks though.
Oh, we had a great time.
Good people.
Great time.
Good stuff.
So. You could probably do a funny commercial about Dusty Sandusky.
Hi, I'm Dusty Sandusky. And
rodeo bullfighter.
And my horses only use EquiPride and EquiLix.
They're the best bullfighting horses in the business.
Whether I'm out in the arena fighting bulls or out on the ranch doctoring cows, my horses are eating EquiLix and EquiPride.
And sometimes I even mix it in my cereal.
And sometimes I even eat it.
If I'm a regular, I'm using EquiPride in my cereal. I even put it on my toast.
I put that shit on everything.
There is no molasses. No sugars and no starch in my EquiPride.
And there's prebiotics. No probiotics, just prebiotics.
Is that before the postbiotics?
So yeah, here go in, come out, pro.
This is off the tracks. Wacey's on the road again this week. We'll have an update for you after, I guess, the week
I'm doing lots of golfing.
Yeah, a week of Rocky Mountain House and Red Deer PBR Canadian Cup Series is back next week. And, thanks for listening, folks. We'll
if you're at any of these events down the road, make sure to hit us up. We'll be around. So
yeah, buy some cowboy shit.
Say hi and
in stores now or at cowboyshit.ca. New stuff is going to be hitting the stores soon.
Exciting.
All right, thanks, folks. Bye bye.
You're spooking the horses. They're wild and they're scared. And that bright colored makeup and those clothes that you wear. Well, I seen you dancing last night beneath the trees. You're spooking the horses. You're scared.